Just outside Mysore stands a peculiar building. Its facade shaped like a giant tire, an intriguing sight that had long sparked my curiosity. I often wondered what stories lay hidden within its walls. And finally, on my journey to Kolkata, time and company aligned perfectly, allowing me the chance to pause, step inside, and unravel the mystery of this extraordinary collection of art and history. There's no parking fee. They don't even charge for phone camera. A mere 50 entry charge. And if you want to carry a dedicated camera, they will charge you 100 rupees. And that's it. To some, a car is merely a ride, a machine that moves, a mean to commute. For them, this museum is a testament of progress of both steel and design. And then there are those with oil in their vein, who hear engines whisper, who feel their refrain. For them, car is not just a metal, not just a device. It's passion, it's freedom, it's love at a price. When I bought my first bike, my father gave me a piece of advice. Don't get too attached to your vehicle. Strange words from a man who in '94 bought a Jeep he loved like a second heart. That same Jeep carried him through countless roads until one fateful day in early 2000s when an accident left it shattered. Forced to part with his beloved machine, he let it go. The wreckage sold, the memories buried. Years passed, the family moved on. But some attachments don't fade, they simply wait. When time softened the wounds and the story of the Jeep became just another old tale, he quietly began his search. And against all odds, he found it. The very same Jeep, worn by time but still standing. He brought it home, reclaiming a piece of himself. Now over 3 decades old, the Jeep demands devotion. Every year, like a sacred ritual, he tends to it, tightening its bolts, replacing parts, breathing life back into aging metal. And if I am home, there is no escaping it. I am his apprentice. Wrench in hand, grease on my palms, sharing in his quiet reverence. Perhaps that's why he once warned me not to grow attached. Vehicles, after all, can be an expensive and time-consuming affair. But in my experience, they can be an expensive and time-consuming happy affair. Over 2,300 years ago, on the fringes of Europe, there stood a small but formidable kingdom. One day, its king organized a grand market, calling upon the finest horse traders to procure mounts for his army. The air buzzed with anticipation as the merchants paraded the finest steeds. But none captured the crowd's awe quite like one particular stallion. He was a Thessalian, draped in sleek black coat, with a white star marking his brows, and eyes like blue gemstones that glowed with untamed fire. The mere sight of him left onlookers breathless, but admiration soon turned to frustration, for the stallion was wild, unbroken, defiant. Even the king's most seasoned riders failed to tame him. After repeated attempts, the king, unimpressed, dismissed the beast. Even the most majestic horse is useless if it cannot be mounted, he declared. Just as the trader prepared to lead the horse away, a voice rose from the crowd. It was the king's 13-year-old son. The young prince, with quiet confidence, stepped forward and requested a chance to tame the beast. wagering that if he failed, he would pay for the horse himself. Intrigued by his son's determination, the king granted him a chance. The prince approached slowly, speaking in a gentle and soothing tone. He then did something no one else had thought to do. He turned the horse towards the sun so that its shadow no longer danced wild before it. The stallion, no longer spooked by its own darkness, calmed beneath the boy's touch. And then, in a moment that would be etched into the legend, the prince mounted him. At first, they walked. Then, in the next breath, they roared like the wind, a blur of black and gold against the earth. When they returned, the crowd erupted into a thunderous applause. The horse was his. This was no ordinary steed. This was Bucephalus, and the boy who tamed him would one day be known as Alexander the Great. From that moment on, Bucephalus was not just a mount, but a companion, a warrior, a symbol of unbreakable bond between man and beast. He carried Alexander through countless battles, across empires, through history itself. Had anyone ever asked Alexander what his greatest vehicle was, he would never have answered Bucephalus, because Bucephalus was never just a vehicle. He was something far greater. He was his heart, his shadow, his legend. Anyone who have ever bought their dream car or bike knows this feeling. An unspoken bond, a quiet understanding. It is never just a machine, never just metal and gears. It becomes an extension of mind, a reflection of soul. A true driver feels the pulse of the engine, the rhythm of shifting gears, the whisper of tire against the road. He senses every turn, every bump, every breath the machine takes. And when an unexpected pothole jolts her frame, he winces, murmurs an apology, as if to a trusted companion or a cherished friend. He does not merely own her, he cares for her. He listens to her hum, soothes her with careful hands, treats her with devotion, because she is not just a machine, she is his precious. In 1930, for the first time in history, an Asian was awarded the Nobel Prize in Science, a moment of triumph not just for a man, but for a continent. That man was Sir Chandrasekhara Venkataraman, a visionary whose brilliance illuminated the world of physics. And this 1947 Studebaker champion was his car, a silent witness to the journey of a genius, a machine that once carried the weight of history in its seats. There are countless other fascinating artifacts here, but some things are best experienced in person. No videos, no photograph can truly capture the magic of standing before history itself.
സോ
ഡ്രൈവ് സേഫ്.
സീറ്റ് ബെൽറ്റ്. ഹെൽമെറ്റോ?
ഹെൽമെറ്റ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് കിട്ടും.
ശരി എന്നാൽ ടാറ്റ.
If you enjoyed this journey, I would love for you to like this video and subscribe, because there are many more stories waiting to be told, and I'm eager to hear your thoughts, suggestions and advice to help me become a better storyteller. Yours truly, Incredible Indian Traveler.